I got invited to a Semi-Realism server. The dinos all have profiles to follow, and not gonna lie, it was a lot of info at first. So I went with the herbivore with an easy enough profile to follow, Apato. As you guys know, about 90% of the time I do play solo. Apato's profile is solo friendly and it can defend itself against the majority of other playables, so I'd be safer against groups. So I thought it would be the perfect thing to select to start out. And without further ado, this is day 1 of my experience as an Apato on the Apex Killers Semi-Realism. We start out in the savanna grasslands. I cautiously made my way up the hill, and at the top I started completing quests as I went. It appeared as though no one was in the area, but I was still careful to keep relatively hidden. This is a whole new server with creatures that I've never encountered before, and I didn't know what to expect. Keeping this in mind, I stayed around the Savannah, Lower Hunters Thicket and Mudflats areas to quest and grow. And before I knew it, I was subadult, heading to the Grand Plains. By the time I got there, night had fallen, and a very thin layer of fog had started to form, adding a sense of unknowing dread to the atmosphere. This fog would undoubtedly get worse, and this server has a lot of mods, so I didn't know what to expect. Anything could loom out of the mists ahead of me, or jump out from behind. After a plod around, I headed to Impact Crater out of curiosity. I was greeted by the unmistakable roars of angry Rexes. Upon first glance, it looks like a Rex pair have pushed this Tyrannotitan out of the crater territory. And the evidence of the Rex's victory lay lifeless on the ground. In this server, only one solo Apex carnivore or an Apex pair can be an Impact Crater at one time. If another arrives, they must fight for the territory or leave. The fog in Crater became so dense that I couldn't even see across the pond. Everyone seemed on edge. The cliffs surrounding the area, combined with the intense fog, started to create a claustrophobic feeling, and I yearned for the openness of the Grand Plains. After doing a quick lakeweed quest, I decided to leave. The atmosphere was uneasy, and the Rexes were starting to make me nervous with their patrols and loud broadcasts. At first, I thought the Rexes were following me. But it turned out they had already spotted a pair of intruders. Gigas. The four behemoths clashed. it didn't take long to determine a victor. The Rexes were unstoppable. The now lone Giga, shamed and defeated, retreated from the area. I also made my way out, leaving the uneasy and trapped feeling behind. Back in the Grand Plains, the weather hadn't improved. If anything, it had gotten worse. A Suko ran past, on some mystery errand of its own. Or was it running from something? As I made my way to a berry bush to appease my hunger, my first adversary appeared from the gloom. An Acrocanthosaurus. Its stark silhouette against the foggy backdrop made them stand out, and reading its body language, I realised that it was sizing me up. I let out a warning bellow to let them know I was on the defensive, and they did back off a bit to sit down. However, as I walked away, they began their advance with a blood-curdling roar. They were surprisingly agile, running in for quick bites and then away again. They also did good in baiting a few of my attacks. I quickly followed up with others. I gave chase, which led us to the top of Crater. After a few back and forth hits, the Acro eventually backs down. GG to them, they played well, but the beefiness of an Apato soaks up a lot of damage. Not bad for a first fight. After heading back into the plains, I came across some Allos hunting a Madrahorn. These Allos were coordinating well, however I didn't stick around to see who won, as I needed to make my way to the river. After taking a quick drink and witnessing a Ceratospide spider beat the ever-loving crap out of a crocodile, I decided to gather some flowers and mushrooms for some reason. After a while, I realised that I was being watched from afar. A Noviana. If you crossed a flightless dragon with a large cat, this is what you would get. Its blood-red eyes were fixed on me as it prowled close by. It passed by the Madrehorns a bit too close, and they weren't afraid to show their displeasure. And again, neither was I. After a warning bellow, the Novi powered into action. After a quick tail whip, a kick and a head slam, the Novi still decided to keep on coming. Catching a few more of my tail whips, the Novi knew when to call it quits, and left in a hurry. GG's Novi, you never know unless you try. A while later, this Allo looked like he was going to try and get closer to me, so I warned them away. This wasn't to be rude. According to my Apato's profile, I do not tolerate any Allosaurus, Ceratosaurus or Torvosaurus that come too close. They seemed to take offence to this, however, as not long after they decided to attack. The grey one took 2 tail whips and a full-on head slam. I was on critical health. Their friend tried a few more bites before they decided to back off. GG Allos, but I wasn't trying to be rude to you. Well, that's my first rookie mistake. This bush had already been claimed by these Madrehorn, and they were not in the mood to share their food. I let them know there was no hard feelings, and then I left them to it, as I knew there was another bush nearby. After filling my hunger, I decided to sit next to this friendly Ceratops and watch the world go by for a bit, until I decided to log out. We also had a tiny guest accompanying us too. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and making it to the end of the video. If you guys liked how this video was, like my narration and stuff, then please tell me, because I really enjoyed making it. It does take a long time for me to make, so you will have to bear with me. There is another one in the works as well. And if you guys want to see uncut fights from these episodes, then I will upload them in a separate video, so just let me know. Yeah, thank you so much for watching, take care and have a great day.